There we go, we're live.
Hello.
Hi guys, welcome to the Hangout. This is our regular, what was Tuesday, Tat Chat, now on a Thursday. So sorry if people didn't realise, but it has moved permanently to a Thursday. Same time slot, 6 o'clock PM UK time.
Well, it used to be when it started, wasn't it?
It was originally Tuesdays.
No, Thursdays.
Thursdays.
It was originally Thursdays.
And we moved it because Zahir was doing auction things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome. So far, there's us two and the lovely Karin with us. Hi, Karin. How are you?
Hi. I'm good, thank you.
Fantastic. I'm not sure if any of the other guys can make it. I think Carla's busy dealing with parents and issues, all sorts going on. Tom's been to the dentist. He might try and pop on all dribbly.
Yeah, if he can talk.
And Steve may be around, but that's it. It may be just the three of us.
Hiding in some racking somewhere because he's working late tonight, isn't he?
Is he still at work?
I don't know.
We might get Steve from work. That would be cool.
Possibly, I don't know. That's how I read it.
We'll have to see. Yeah, if you're watching us live, welcome. If you're a regular, welcome back. Good to see you. If you're new here, I'm Nick. This is my wife,
Andrea.
And yeah, we're online resellers, and this channel is all about reselling in all its various forms. And the Tuesday Tat Chats, we tend to try and pick a topic and then just chat about it. There is a live side chat, so please pop in there and say hello, ask questions, let us know your opinions. Let me scroll back. First in was Adrian. Do you want to say a few hellos?
Yeah. Hello to Adrian. And George is in. Hi, George. Yorkshire reseller. There's lots of names that I'm not used to seeing because they don't pop in on a Sunday. Well, these people do. But,
yeah.
I noticed a couple. Stu Mandry, Chris B. Yeah. Hello, everybody.
What's George saying there? I won't be able to make this chat live, but comparing myself to others is extremely helpful to me as it gives me something to aim for and I get a huge drive to get there.
Yeah, well, that's a good point.
Interesting point, because it's a very double-sided kind of debate, this one. So we'll get into that in a minute.
I'd almost forgotten what the subject was.
Well, there you go. George has reminded you.
Why am I here again?
Chris says there, I don't compare myself to other sellers. I sell mainly in one category, which I know very well. Adrian, I think if you try to be like someone else, then you're not being you anyway. Yeah.
Well, this is true.
Very true. So let me scroll to the end of the chat. I thought I'd throw it over to you first, Karin. Do you get sucked into that comparing yourself? I mean, Facebook is what I'm thinking these days.
Hi,
kind of draws us into all of that. Do you get sucked into comparing yourself with other people's figures or productivity or anything like that?
I think I used to when I first started, but then I realised that I've got to know my own limits, and my own limits are a lot less than other people's. I see a lot of people work really hard and just keep going and going and going, and obviously I can't do that. So I just stick to what I can do, and I'm happy with what I'm doing. And I like to see other people's figures and how they're doing, and it does, I'm happy for them, and it does sort of make me think, well, I could get there one day, but I really don't compare myself, because if I did, I think I would get quite depressed.
Yeah, exactly. And for those that don't know, you struggle because of medical things, so you have to know your limit, as you were just saying.
Yeah. Basically, I can get burnout very quickly. So if I do too much, I pay for it. So I've really got to just pace myself, basically.
Exactly. And like you say, comparing yourself directly to what others are doing or how many hours they're putting in or whatever is completely pointless for you, because it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
So what about yourself? Do you compare what you're doing?
I think I do. I try not to, because I know that it doesn't help. And also, as Karin said, I know that everybody's different. But I find myself sometimes, and I think that Karin might be talking about like Karen and Shelley. They're machines, they work so hard, and they're
Duracell bunnies, those two.
And I'm not. I'm slow, and I can't get as much achieved, even if I try. And sometimes I think, why can't I be more like that? And I have to remind myself it's because I'm different. I'm not the same as that person, and
Yeah.
have other strengths as well.
But like George was saying, have you ever found somebody that's talked about what they're doing and found that inspiring to think,
oh yeah,
that really has inspired me to do something different? Or
that's the healthy way to compare yourself to someone, or not compare yourself to someone, but to look at what someone's doing and be inspired by what they're doing, rather than looking at what they're doing and thinking, oh my God, why can't I be like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking of Karen, hi Karen, she's in the chat. Karen sells clothes, who has a YouTube
she says,
channel.
I'm a lazy lister.
No, she's not.
Karen says, actually, everyone's situation is different and our capabilities are all different. Exactly what Andrew was just saying. And sometimes directly comparing yourself isn't helpful. And the other thing is, I always think there's always going to be somebody who is doing better than you. I mean, in life in general, forget business for a moment. And if you go around trying to compare yourself to everyone, you're always going to find someone that's better off than you, has a bigger house, is earning more money, whatever it is. There's just no point, is there? I don't.
No. Because everybody's different.
And I really think that social media is a big part of this. This subject comes up time and time again within the reselling world, because people feel the compulsion to share how well they're doing, and they should. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but if you're in a bad place or you're having a bad week or month, sometimes the last thing you want to see is somebody saying, I've just done £500 in a day and I've just had a massive pickup of really profitable stuff. And you have to be able to switch that and use it to inspire yourself. Otherwise it can really get you down. So, and I think social media, we never had social media when we started selling on eBay in the late 90s, early 2000s.
So we were just quite happy pootling on in our own little world and doing our own little thing, and not thinking, oh, I don't know if I'm listing as much as I really should be, or
well, we had nothing to compare it to. We didn't even really know any other eBayers at all. So it was really weird. Whereas these days, within 5 minutes, I could go into one of the Facebook groups and probably see 5 or 10 posts of people's figures and people's turnover. And yeah, I don't know. I personally find it in the main inspiring. I think I'm at a point where I'm not really trying to be bigger, better, faster, more, but I do enjoy seeing people succeed. And I'm over chasing numbers for myself. We've kind of been there and done that, and it's not really what we're trying to do. So I think I've released myself.
Speak for yourself. I keep looking at our numbers, thinking, oh, it could be better. We could get to.
It could be, but it doesn't need to be, and that's the point. But it is all over social media. I mean, do you browse the groups much, Karen, and look at those sort of posts?
I try and limit Facebook really daily, because I do spend quite a lot of time on Instagram. So I try and limit how much I do spend on each social media. Probably spend the most time sort of lunchtime-ish on both. I was going to say that a lot of people think of themselves as successful in different ways, because you see a lot of people who put on, oh, look at my car I've just bought myself. And then you get people that say, oh, look at this holiday I've just gone on. So there's a lot of people that is their goal that they want to achieve, whereas neither of those really are for me. Really what I want to do is just be comfortable and pay off debts. And once I've paid off the debts, then I might think about what I want to do with it. There's a lot of people, they're just striving to get to that really nice car that they want, or that really nice holiday.
Yeah. And it's nice sometimes when you see a post where someone says, I had my first sale, or I've reached £100 for the month, which is a huge milestone in anyone's progression, isn't it? And I love to see those little milestones, you know. And I find those sort of posts, in fact, more appealing than when somebody shares these massive figures that they've done on Amazon FBA or whatever, because that's, I don't know, it just seems a little bit braggy.
I had a lot of support and encouragement when I first started. People saying, "Wow, you know, your first lot of numbers are really good. You know, very impressive for just starting out." But I've been preparing for quite a while before I actually started it, so I had stuff in place, ready to list and things like that, and I had stuff ready. So, but yeah, people are generally very supportive, I think.
Yeah. I think with social media, especially Instagram, it really depends on who you're following. And I think that definitely if you're following somebody that you look at and you think, that makes me feel negative inside every time I see a post by that person, or you don't get a good feeling about their posts, or they niggle you, or for whatever reason. It might not even be something you can necessarily put your finger on, but you just, they are, do you know what I'm saying?
Well, I think you warm to some people.
Yeah,
and some
so
people you can identify with.
I think that if you are looking at somebody and comparing yourself and finding you're getting a negative response within yourself on somebody's account over and over again, then you just need to unfollow. And I think the point I'm trying to make is that you need to tailor your feed of whatever social media you have. You have to tailor your feed to something positive, something that's going to inspire you, and something that's going to
actually I did do that a bit with a couple of American resellers, because I found them keep saying, oh, you've got to fight and you've got to work and you've got to, and it was all about let's do this, and and just all what they were doing, they were just working and just killing themselves. And I thought, this isn't inspiring me, because I can't do this. What's the point in watching them half kill themselves?
Exactly.
Yeah,
but
that's a really good
there will
point.
be a percentage of people that need that push, don't they?
Yeah.
And they're trying to achieve very clear set goals and growth and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And they need that kick up the butt, maybe.
Yeah.
So that's fine, but we have to realize what we need and what's good for us as individuals. I was just reading.
Some people that motivates them, but
Exactly.
for other people it will make them go into their shells.
Exactly.
So you've just got to say, okay, that, like Corinne said, you've got to say that doesn't inspire me, unfollow
and recognize
follow someone that does inspire you.
The ability to recognize when something isn't actually helpful.
Yeah.
And tuning out from it. I was just reading, Heather is in The Treasure Pirate, says, I am always trying to improve, but I don't compare myself to others, as for me there's no point. I do it my way.
Cue Frank Sinatra.
No, I did it my way. Starley is in, welcome. Although we all share a common goal, in brackets, sell as much tat as possible, all our sourcing opportunities, geographic location, contacts, etc., are very different and sometimes unique. Very true. Yeah. Let's see what other comments we've got. Adrian says, sometimes it's easy to get carried away. If you see someone doing well and you're struggling, you can think, if they can do it, so can I. But sometimes it doesn't work that way. Exactly. Just because someone else is doing something, it doesn't necessarily mean you can. But the other side of that is, I wrote down before, I think, talking about YouTube, we've had quite a few messages from people who just needed to see somebody else doing this and enjoying it and being successful at it, to give them that mental push and that mental confidence to give it a go. People like Zahir and Sue and others that needed some sort of inspiration, and luckily we and other channels as well were able to supply that. It's just, sometimes you can't picture yourself doing it, or you're scared to take the leap, and just seeing someone else achieving it is sometimes enough. So on that side, it can be a really positive thing. It depends. Yeah, it depends what you're trying to get out of it. It's a tricky one, isn't it?
Yeah.
What else have we got? Hi, Shelsteruni, how are you?
Well, I have some good news, Nick.
Yeah.
Since I was last on the Tat Chat, I've sold 3 more items from the photography bundle, and totaling £44. So I'm definitely in profit now.
Awesome.
Okay. So how much did you invest in those? Remind me.
£100.
And what have you made back then?
It was 37 items. So it worked out, I think it was £2.70 per item it worked out at, I think. And I sold the lens for 70, and I've sold 3 cameras now, and his Master's Voice vintage little tin that held gramophone needles.
Oh yeah.
That was in one of the camera bags. So starting to sell.
Would you say that pickup was from not comparing yourself, but inspired by watching other people?
I saw a few people picking up cameras, and then when I had the opportunity to get a load of them, I thought I'd give it a go and learn while I was doing it. But as you know, I'm not that interested.
So would you, with hindsight, not pick them up, or are you glad you did it now?
I think in future I'll just pick the odd one up, not a massive load.
So how many have you got left to list?
I've got one of those Kallax boxes full of sort of accessories and some really nice bits, but they're surprisingly not worth a lot.
Oh.
It might be worth bundling what
Yeah.
you've got left and put it on auction or whatever, because it owes you nothing now. You're at that lovely point where it's like, I'm in profit, anything else is a bonus. So bundling might be a way to go.
Do you think someone would buy 4 box brownies? They're all different.
Some people use those just as display, you know. If they're, I don't know, where do you see
or
those?
You could put prop in the title.
Yeah, you could try it. This is the
I'll
beauty of
try
eBay.
Singly first and see what happens, and then if not, stick them together.
I saw Karen was saying the detail I put in is a lot less. I think we all do compare to others from time to time, but try and focus on what I have and be grateful for what we can. Have a big house and be deeply miserable. Well, yeah,
this is true. Yeah,
exactly. Oh, Kelly's in as well. It says, do your best, forget the rest. Yeah, I also put down when I was trying to think of what we were going to talk about, is compare yourself to yourself. I remember, I think we chatted about a similar subject with Zahir a while back, and he was saying that the only really positive comparison is to compare yourself with yourself, let's say a year ago, and how we've got ka-chings in stereo, got one phone over here and one over there. So do you do that? Do you look at where you've come from and where you're going and see some sort of progression?
Well, if I compared myself to myself 2 years ago, I'd have a gold star A++, because 2 years ago I was basically sitting on the sofa watching television and I couldn't walk 100 meters. I was really, really ill. So I've come on a lot since then, thanks to steroids mostly.
Right. And do you do that? And is it positive to think back that?
Oh yeah, definitely. When I look back at that, and you know, I was like 2 stone heavier and doing virtually nothing, basically. As I said, just watching TV all day and not a lot else. Didn't have Monty then though either. So
yeah, it's a good one to ignore how amazing everybody else is and just look at yourself and say, how am I doing?
Yeah, because our perception of how amazing everybody else is isn't necessarily the truth. Because sometimes you might look at someone and think, oh, they've got everything, they're amazing, they're so good at what they do, and you know, then you would speak to them one-on-one and find out that actually it's not as great as you thought it was, and they also struggle with self-confidence or this, that, or the other. And
and I think somebody mentioned in the chat, but it's gone past now, that just looking at someone's numbers, and I know we've said this before, but it doesn't give you the whole story. And often somebody might share turnover for the week. You don't know what money they had invested in that stock. You don't know what their overheads and outgoings are.
You don't know what the selling price was compared to the profit. Exactly.
You don't know what the actual profit margin is. So you may be doing, bottom line wise, you might be doing exactly the same figures, but on paper theirs looks amazing. So it's not that people shouldn't share those numbers, but when you're looking at them, guys, just bear in mind, you really don't know how much money they're taking out of that, or how much money they need to take out of that to be comfortable. That's another thing that people completely forget about, is we know what we need to earn to be comfortable because of our situation. So we don't necessarily have to turn over big numbers. So it's pointless comparing, you know, with what other people do. But I do get sucked into it. I really do.
I do.
Well, because I've done my tax return now, I know that I'm £50 up this January than what I was last January. So that's good. Even though I'm selling less covers than what I was last January, because I've got a load to make, which is what I've got to get stuck into. So I look back at those sales and a good 60-70% of those was covers. Whereas now it's probably reversed. And I'm selling a lot less covers and a lot more reselling stuff. But also I want to say to the newbies is I do 1 to 2 sales a day, and I'm only on 75 listings at the minute. So, you know, everyone thinks it's about how many items you've got listed. I've consistently been on like 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 sales a day the whole time I've been reselling, and I've never gone above 150 listings, I think. I think I might have got to 200 once, but then it went down. So
yeah, our store is relatively low. I think we're on about 350 at the minute, although
I've got 100 odd things to relist.
A bunch of relist. But we have consistent numbers. So it's not all about, and that's another good thing, to not get drawn into comparing numbers of items listed, because it may not suit your business and how your business works. If you've got fast selling turnover items, we were chatting when we met with George Ross last week. We sat and had a coffee, and we both said we would happily have nothing in our store if that means it's all sold, because that's the objective. I've never got really in the mindset of I would love to have 10,000 items listed. No, I'd like to sell it all. Thank you very much. It does make sense depending on what you're listing. When we're talking about listing numbers, Ken's name always comes up, Ken Chapman, who has a very different business model to most of us. He lists thousands and thousands of items, and most of them are slow sellers, but eventually it will sell. So his is very much a numbers game. Our business operates more on get it in and sell it out as quickly as possible. Although not all of it.
Quite a lot of my stuff sits there for a while.
Yeah, some of your clothes are a bit sticky at the minute.
Yeah, they just sell eventually though.
I just sold something yesterday that I've had listed for over a year. Just gradually reducing the price. I mean, it had 7 watches, so I knew it was going to sell eventually.
Well, this is it. When I dropped a load of prices at the beginning of the year for a sale, I just, I didn't actually put a proper sale on because I hadn't had things listed long enough, but I dropped prices and I'd had a flurry of sales at that point, and some of it I'd had listed for months. So it just shows you.
Maybe when you drop the price, it goes up the list. I don't know, because it does. When I search for things, it does do by the cheapest thing first, and then goes to the highest price.
You
So
can tailor how you want to search, though, can't you?
Let me look in the chat again. N. Parker, I run various social media pages, and my monthly goals are always to outdo the competition in some way. Similar goes for eBay. I always watch and follow people who are doing a little better than me. So there's somebody who is being inspired by comparing directly with others. And that's the thing. If it works for you and it's helping you, there's nothing wrong with it. It's when if you're doing it and it's making you feel bad about yourself, it's not inspiring you. In fact, it's making you less productive. You need to identify that and stop doing it. Would be what I'd say. But yeah, N. Parker, if that works for you, fantastic. Hey, Lex.
Lex says, I was checking out the figures of one eBay seller with big Insta presence. Felt good when I saw my figures were better than theirs. Not so good when I saw they run 2 shops.
I didn't send you the link, Lex. You can pop on if you're about.
Well, she's been snowed off work, isn't she?
Oh, I didn't know. Thrifty Trooper, welcome. Having personal goals helps. They are specific to me. I need to make £200 for a bill. As long as I make that, I'm happy. I enjoy watching other YouTubers pick up tips and tricks, etc. Cool. Karen says, that's why I came off Facebook, found myself getting bitter with it.
Well, yeah, exactly. As soon as you start feeling like that, you've got to just say no.
Yeah,
that's not good for me.
It's identifying, isn't it, when it's having a negative impact on you.
See, I find
I do snooze people for 30 days. You know, you can snooze people for 30 days. I do that sometimes.
I don't know. You can
Especially some family members.
What, there's a button within Facebook, is there, where you can snooze someone?
I have one particular family member. I'm not going to say her name.
Oh, it's her. Narrowing it down. If
she just gets on my nerves. She's just one of those people who just reposts everything she sees that she thinks is funny, and I just get fed up with it, so I just snooze her all the time. I still love you though.
Oh, Steve's in. Hi, Steve.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Steve.
Hey. live from the.
Oh, it's cold up here today.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know. I've got 2 jumpers
It's
on,
freezing.
and I'm not in your loft.
How's it going, mate?
Yeah, good, good. Just cold. It's icy everywhere. It's starting to snow. Bring on the summer.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Yeah, I'm over the winter already.
Yeah, it's just started and we're done with it already.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've been chatting a little bit about comparing yourself to others, looking at people's figures online. Is that a positive? Is it a negative? It's a bit of a mixed response, really. Some people saying they go out of their way to not look at that sort of stuff or get involved. Others who find that really inspiring and it helps. Where would you put yourself on in that mix?
I'd probably say I'm half and half. I like to see other people's figures and where you can, where you can possibly get to doing eBay. But then again, it does sometimes kind of knock your confidence if you've had a bad week. So I'm double-edged sword. It motivates me, but it depends what mood I'm in, to be fair.
Yeah. Does it help because you're in a position where you're going to be full-time imminently for the first time? Does it help to know that there's people you can like ourselves who are full-time, been doing it for a while? Does that give you confidence that it's achievable? Does it help?
Yeah, definitely. Because without that, I think without me finding people on YouTube or Facebook or anything like that, I wouldn't have even tried it. So it's definitely, how'd you put it? I don't know. It's definitely a motivation because I'd heard of selling stuff on eBay, but until I came across your videos or Zahir's or Tom's, I'd never even crossed my mind that you could do it full time. Yeah. So yeah, of course that motivates me. But then there is sometimes when you see people that are doing 6 figures and stuff like that on Instagram, and you're like, how are you doing 6 figures in 60 days?
I know. It's so far removed from my reality. I can't even take those sort of numbers in. It's like,
I would say they're getting help. They're not doing it alone. They're getting help.
Yeah.
Right,
Or selling very high value items.
or millions of low value items. Who knows? It's like those guys that come on before every video we watch that says, can I have 35 seconds and I'll teach you how to make $1,000 a minute? No thanks. Skip. Right, let's see what else is going on in the chat. Thanks for all your comments. I'm trying to keep up. Oh, it always does that. Where was I?
Yeah, I think for me it's not always about comparing figures, but it's more comparing how other people do things and then thinking, oh, I'm not good enough, or I'm not as good as that person, or that's the kind of comparison negativity that I can find myself in sometimes.
Right.
Is not necessarily saying, oh, that person's doing better because their figures are better, but that person, the way they do that is better than me, and maybe I should be more like that, or to be more successful. And and then I get into a negative mindset, and then it just ends up paralyzing me, because then I'm not very motivated, because I just think, what's the point?
So how do you get around that, or do you try and avoid that train of thought?
Those posts, that train of thought, and have a word with myself.
Try not to get.
You have these motivations.
Sorry, Steve.
No, carry on, Corinne. Carry on.
I was just going to say, Andrea needs to try not to get distracted by doing quizzes.
Oh yeah.
What's this?
Me
and Corinne have been doing an online quiz.
I've been hard at work today, have we?
I haven't done it. Well, maybe a little bit this morning. But...
Corinne, stop distracting my wife, will you?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Go on, Steve. What were you going to say?
And look, you have all these motivational speakers, like, I don't know, Gary V, and there's another guy, I can't remember his name, but they say like don't sleep, only have 4 hours sleep, and work like from when you wake up in the morning at 6 a.m. and work till 12 at night and stuff. And it's like, oh, come on, let's talk about reality.
Yeah.
Not everyone's going to do that.
This is going to be controversial, but I can't stand Gary V.
Never watched him. Never watched him. I've seen a couple of little clips and I thought, nah, he's not for me.
No.
But again, this is the beauty of it, because I think that's the guy that Zahir really rates, isn't it? And that,
no, does he?
yeah,
Oh, maybe.
I think so.
Okay.
But if not, there will be thousands, if not millions, of people that need that kind of aggressive, you must do this, you know, get out of bed or whatever.
I don't deal well with aggression.
But no, I'm the sort of person, if somebody tells me I've got to do something, I'll be like,
Yeah.
I'm definitely not doing that then.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, but I need someone to say to me, you can't do that. There's no way you'll be able to do that. And I'll be like, well, so watch this. And I'll do it. Honestly, I need people in my life to say, you can't do that, Nick. There's no way you could turn over. If somebody told me you can't turn over X amount this year, I'll be like, there we go. But if somebody came to me and said, oh, you're not doing enough, you should work harder and you need to turn over this, I'll be like, well, sod you, I'll do what I like. So I need to tailor my inspiration and get it in certain ways. I find
15 years ago, I got told that I'd be here for 6 months in Newcastle, that I wouldn't last, that I wouldn't be able to hack it. And 15 and a half years later, I'm still here.
Why would you not be able to hack it in Newcastle? What were they thinking would scare you?
Because where I'm from is such a small town and everybody knows everybody. You know where everything is. You don't have to travel very far to anything. Do you know what I mean? And I was very, like, if I had a doctor's appointment, I went with my mum. You know, my dad used to take me to appointments in Ipswich, the next big town. I never done anything by myself. I was not an independent person, so nobody thought that I could do it. And I just had to learn how to do things by myself and work out how to do things. And, you know, I like it now. I like being, it's nice to be away from family sometimes, rather than being right there in it. I get it all on the phone, what's going on, but I'm not in it.
Yeah, and then it's nice to go back and visit for a while. And
Everybody's pleased to see me when I go home, because they don't see me very often.
And look at you now, you're running your own business and chatting on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, going back to you snoozing people, Carwyn. Kelly says, well, that explains why Carwyn's not been commenting on my Facebook post. It's Kelly.
No, it's not you, Kelly.
You've snoozed
Member of the family.
Secret's out now.
And I saw Shelley saying that she's lost loads of Insta people because Insta followers. No, I've not unfollowed you, Shelley. I love you, Shelley.
Right, let's see. Oh, Peter's saying he snoozes people on Facebook, because I need to get into this snoozing Facebook.
I very rarely
snoozing on Facebook.
Yeah.
Well, you'd have to ask Carwyn.
You can select to snooze someone for 30 days, basically.
Oh.
You don't see their posts.
I don't really look at Facebook anymore. I go and look at my notifications. If someone's tagged me in something, I look at it. Or if, you know, somebody in my family has posted something, I'll have a quick look. But I don't
You're down with the kids over on Insta, aren't you?
No.
I'm old school. I can just about work Facebook and YouTube. Okay.
I think Instagram is the future.
Yeah.
Is it?
Rather than Facebook.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast about Pinterest and how to use that for business today. I'm still not convinced about it, but yeah, interesting.
Quick question I'll answer while I see it. Jacques Reselling asks, Nick, are you restricted on Amazon for DVDs completely? Yes. Although randomly the odd one or two they let me list, which is really strange. I'm just getting my first Amazon shipment listed. Well, good luck with that. Let's see if we've got any more comments about the topic. Oh, it's just jumped again. I hate this chat. I can't. Where was I? Miles back. Holy cow.
That's the trouble. We don't keep up with it.
Right, I'm going to
Andrea, apparently you're a boss on Insta.
Am I?
Someone said, yeah.
Are you?
I'm really not.
Wow. Right, I'm going to read a bunch of chat and catch up. Larissa, hi there. Larissa Warnock says, long time watcher, first time commenting. I am a reseller and you guys inspire me every day. Whenever I see Wicker, I think of Andrea. Oh no, she thinks, oh, Andrea would like that.
I probably would.
I think that there's hundreds of people up and down the country now that see Wicker and picture you in their head. Welcome, Larissa. Thanks for the comment. Right, let's.
That's a great name. What's that?
What?
The giant. How do you?
The giant isopod.
Is it an eye?
I don't know. welcome anyway. I'm not sure we've read your name right. Martin says, I sell Lego, one of the biggest resellers of Lego on eBay UK, and do sometimes check out my competition. It's only to make sure I keep selling and only on certain items, 1 kilo packs, minifigure packs. Interesting. Yeah, when we were doing just Lego years and years ago, we were competing with another seller for selling a kilo of Lego at a time. And I'd daily see how many they'd sold compared to us and do the search and see if I was top of the search or they were. It was, yeah, that was good fun.
Didn't you actually, weren't you in contact with him recently?
Yeah, that might even be that guy. I can't remember. I did chat with somebody who was the guy that I was comparing
so
myself.
you think it might be Martin?
Might be, I don't know. Right, let's catch up in the chat.
Funny old world, isn't it?
Simon Blitz is in, welcome. Says, to be honest, when I was watching Craigslist Hunter, he's got a full team but doing upwards of $70,000. I love watching his videos. It's if you've got a jealous mindset. Exactly. I love watching Pete Craigslist Hunter as well. But he's got a full team of people. He's got a huge eBay store or several, massive high street retail store. And he's, totally different ball game to what we're currently doing. Yet when I chatted with him, I had him on the channel once. We could, it was just like chatting with myself from like 10 years ago when we had the store.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. And I think you got it right there. It's all about your mindset when you're watching someone. Try not to compare and make yourself feel bad about your situation. Yeah.
Oh, can I do a shout out while I remember? Because I don't think he chats, but he always watches you guys, and he's called Click Right on Instagram. I think his name's Josh Wright, and he comes from Walton, which is where my mum and dad live, which is next to Felixstowe. So he does a lot of sourcing in Felixstowe, and he always watches the Tat Chat, and he does gaming stuff, retro. He's been doing a load of N64s today. And he's a really nice lad. And he sent me a load of pictures of Felixstowe town centre while he was sourcing yesterday to remind me of home, which was nice of him.
Oh, cool.
That's cool. What was his name again, sorry?
Josh Wright.
Josh.
And he's called Click Right on Instagram.
Hi, Josh, if you're watching. I need to get myself on Instagram. I've been saying it for the last year.
Yeah, you should have your own Instagram page.
Do you think?
Yeah. Honestly, Nick, it is easy.
Gram, Nick.
Yeah.
You can do as little or as much as you like.
What was it? So here says flex on the gram.
I ain't doing no flexing.
I was watching his live with Ellen, and she just laughed out loud when he said that.
Heather says you have to follow your own path. Trying to do your business like someone else rarely works. Very true. I think the eBay reselling community on YouTube is far more friendlier, encouraging and supportive than the Facebook reselling community or even other communities on YouTube like BookTube Gaming, etc. Okay, cool. That was Thrifty Trooper.
Simon says Gary V is a legend. I'm sure he is, but I can't bear him. I
think Gary V is a bit like Marmite, maybe. I think he works for some people. If you need that,
for me, I don't need someone shouting at me.
If you need that in your life, for me, I would just no. Right, I'm trying to catch up in the chat. Let's read out a few more comments and get to the end.
Did that jump again? Oh, no.
Starley says, I put my own trousers on this morning. High five.
Yay.
It's the little achievements, isn't it?
Someone's saying there's anyone on Twitter. I found Twitter's a very negative place. I wouldn't go on Twitter.
Yeah.
A lot of trolling on Twitter.
I am on Twitter, but I don't go on there.
Yeah, I've never really used Twitter.
Lots of keyboard warriors on Twitter.
Richard Mitchell says, sorry, late to the party. That's fine, not a problem. I love the figures, as in people sharing figures, I assume, as it encourages me to be where I could be. Well, fantastic. And if that works for you, then hunt out those videos or posts and get inspired. But it's horses for courses, and that really doesn't work for some people. It's not useful for some people, and that's what we're talking about. I think it's identifying what works for you, really. Shell says, I haven't lost Insta followers, but it's only a matter of time. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Why? She's good on Twitter, on Instagram even.
I sometimes find I've gained as many followers on Insta in one day that I've lost. So sometimes like I get a flurry of new followers and I look and my numbers are exactly the same. So I think, well, that amount of people must have unfollowed me as well today. But you get a lot of people that
I think
want
it just
to
goes
follow
up and
you.
down.
Say again?
I think it just goes up and down. It's weird. It's very strange. It's not consistent. I don't think it's per follower.
No.
It kind of changes.
But don't they do that weird thing where it's like, I'll follow you and you follow me,
and then they unfollow you afterwards. I mean, one guy is driving me insane at the moment. He follows me and unfollows me at least once a week.
Really?
I don't understand it.
I don't know how, but I've got 700 followers. Don't know how.
Excuse me. Kath Palmer's in. Welcome.
Hi, Kath.
Says, Nick, I remember when you said, I must start selling on Amazon, and look at you now. Exactly, yeah.
Exactly.
And that was directly from not necessarily comparing myself, but it was through being inspired by the likes of Tom and some of the American Amazon sellers and thinking, I need, because we've always done Amazon.
Yeah,
right,
we've always done merchant fulfilled.
We started when you worked there in 2001.
Yeah.
Merchant fulfilling, and I'd heard about FBA, and it just, that thought of it freaked me out, and it sounded so complicated. And thanks to Tom, who taught me through some of the basics at the beginning, I jumped on, and it's now I don't know, it's about half of our income now. So yeah, that was a case of being inspired by others really benefited us.
Shelley says, I used to use Twitter for work. It's very dry. Yeah, I don't like it either, really. No.
Okay, let's see. Am I at the end of this chat yet?
Steve, did you see the comment about teapots?
I've just read that.
No, I haven't got the chat up.
It's Andy Robinson, Steve. He says, be careful if you take your inspiration from Steve. I've got a house full of teapots because of that bloke.
Andy just trolls me on my videos. There's a comment on every video from Andy, which is a sarcastic comment.
I love the fact that there's like been loads of people have gone out and bought stuff like, I don't know what it was in the early days, like certain board games or stuff on the back of seeing my videos.
I did the same with board games. I bought a load of board games and then realised I hated board games.
Yeah.
I can see a Monopoly in the background.
Is that
yeah, it's sealed. That one's sealed. Though I get sealed board games, but anything that's open.
Oh, that's an easy sale. Stick that on and be gone in a day.
Andrea, I bought 2 bits of wicker.
You bought wicker?
I bought 2 bits of wicker, but I've kept them both.
This is the issue.
I know.
Yeah, I've had to fight against the keeping wicker scenario.
Yeah.
Mark, talking about Gary Vee again. Gary Vee books have some great content on social media platforms. His first is more about his story. His books are a good read. Okay.
Leanne says, Andrea, is his name Dropstripe? No, it's not. It's somebody Vogenhuger or something. Very weird.
Do you know? I was going to read Simon's comment and it just vanished.
Do you have any random American men that are supposed to be in the forces and they just have pictures of them in army gear and stuff? I have that.
No.
Wow.
No. You must like look of my face or something. I don't know.
You attract a certain type of person.
Yeah. Don't tell Darren, whatever you do.
Oh, he's not jealous.
Oh.
He couldn't care less.
Simon Mitchell is in. Welcome, Simon. How are you? It says, comparing has good and bad points. Nick's videos got me seriously into reselling, which is good, but it can be bad when looking at some who are really flying and I'm not. Just got to go at your own pace. Yeah. Exactly. That kind of sums up our opinion, really, that if you can take inspiration out of something by looking at what other people are doing and comparing that to your situation, maybe if you've got a goal and you can see someone who's achieved that already, it gives you that confidence that you can do it. Like we were chatting with Steve, knowing that you're going to go full time, you've got the confidence that others have done it and you know it's achievable. So it, you know, that sort of thing I think is really, really helpful to give you confidence.
I think just between the two of us that sometimes we find it tricky because we work at different speeds and in different ways, and sometimes, you know, we clash in that, because sometimes you kind of expect me to work at the same pace and the same way as you do, and I don't, and I have to reel that back in and think, no, I'm working at my own pace because I can't do what you do.
Yeah.
So just in a small circle here.
It's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
It can be difficult. Yeah, I can say like one sentence and Andrea could just go off the boil, because it's like just go off on one.
Wow,
Certain subjects we can't talk about.
It's not that we can't talk about it.
No, it is. No, believe me.
So Nick, does your brain work better at night and you're not so good in the morning?
Oh, I don't do mornings.
No. See, after about 6 o'clock, my brain is pretty much mush. And then in the daytime, I'm fine. It just gets more and more. The later the day gets, the more stupid I get.
Yeah, I think my sweet spot would be from about sort of 4 to 8. That's when I'm productive. But I sometimes carry on into the evening and I get slower and slower and slower until I just start making stupid mistakes. Actually, one of our subscribers or followers on eBay sent us a message earlier. I'd sent a buy it now. I'm trialing this using up my free auctions, and I sent a load of buy it now stuff to auction and tweaked a few prices. And I tweaked one price and I put it from like $14.99 up to $649 or something, didn't I? Whatever it was, a ridiculous price for a load of stickers. So someone kindly messaged me and said, you might have mispriced this one. So thanks for that, whoever it was. Who was it? Do you know who it was?
I don't know. I passed it on to you.
So yeah, when I work late, I get forgetful and stupid and make mistakes.
Oh, someone else who watches you guys. You'll know him, Andrea. Chaddy Pete.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, hi Chaddy Pete, if you're watching, because I know he says he watches the Tat Chat as well.
Was he?
I've heard about you, Chaddy Pete. Your name is.
He's such a nice guy as well. I don't know if you've ever messaged him, Andrea, but whenever I message him, he always replies, and he's a really nice guy.
Yeah, I have had a chat with him.
We've had conversations about you, Chaddy Pete. I know all about it. I need to do the Instagram thing, but I really don't want to. Have you heard of Chaddy Pete, Steve?
No, I've never heard of Chaddy Pete.
Oh, you need to follow him on Insta. He's really good.
I'll have to follow him.
His stories are brilliant.
And let's just say he's not a bag of spanners either.
What the hell does that mean?
Quite good looking.
Oh, is that what that? What? He's not a bag of spanners.
Face like a bag of spanners. Have you never heard that?
No. No clue. I'm out of the loop.
Yeah, that'll be why Steve's going to follow him.
Yeah.
Oh, Caroline or Phil or both are in. Let's go with the Johnson. Says, evening all, I'm late to the party.
Hi, Caroline.
So hi there. See if we've got any more comments.
I thought everybody knew that saying. Loads of people saying they've never heard that.
No. Bianca says, I'm so glad I found this community. I love to watch all the vids and streams, but it's also very overwhelming and distracting. There are so many I could watch 24/7. Yeah. Only Bumcrack Picker can do that. Yeah, he seems to be in all the lives. I don't know how he does it. Yeah, thanks for the comment. That's lovely. And you're right, it can get too much. I've cut down massively on how much YouTube I watch. I tend to use YouTube for music now and just stream music while I'm working. I try and dip in live chats when I can and say hello and give some support, but you could literally watch live streams almost all day. The community is so big now. Oh, hello, that's 2. We should go live more often.
Vintage crystal glasses.
Oh, cool. They'll be in next week's vlog, those glasses.
Enjoy packing those.
Yeah.
We might even be in tomorrow.
Yeah. Well,
next. Yeah. Getting confused now.
What?
Next week is this week. Oh, it's too confusing, all this blogging business.
Has that just blown your mind?
Yes.
Right, have we caught up in this chat yet? Yes, I'm at the bottom of the chat.
Woohoo!
Round of applause. That's my achievement for today. Let me just scroll back a little bit. Two Can Play at That says, have you ever thought about selling one particular category, like just books or just car parts, making packaging easier? I sell random mixed things, but I wish it was easier to pack or list.
Yeah, I think we've tried to specialise in the past, but then just get bored.
Get bored, and also I find it hard to leave behind stuff that I know I can make money on, so I end up buying a range of stuff again anyway, even if I'm trying to specialise.
Yeah.
What about yourself, Steve? Have you thought about going down one niche avenue?
I have got in contact with a few suppliers because the place that I'm leaving, I'm in contact with a lot of their suppliers. So I have got in contact with a few, and because I was thinking of just getting a product that I could just kind of tick along and maybe even kind of drop ship it from a company, because I know a few suppliers that do drop shipping. I have thought about it, but I'm not 100%. Sorry if you can hear my son, he's kicking off.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. It'd be worth, certainly keeping those contacts anyway. You never know what could pan out. And that sounds like something that could work well on Amazon if you get the right product. Depends what it is.
There's a lot of suppliers of the stuff, so it's a bit of a risk, but I'm not sure. I've thought about it. I've always thought about getting something that like Zahir, where he's got the RC parts, getting something that would consistently, and you with the car parts, that would consistently go over, and obviously still do the reselling and be going around the charity shops and the car boot, because I like the treasure hunt, but I definitely like to find something I could consistently have and consistently get.
Yeah, I think Zahir kind of really cracked it with the car parts, because he's got a supplier that he can regularly go back to. Our car part haul was a complete kind of fluke that we got into that, because we went out of our way to go to that auction and then stuck a load of money down on it, but that's unlikely to ever happen again. Kind of one-off thing, really. Whereas Karin, you are kind of specialized with what you make anyway.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy that side of it more than the random go out and see what you can find in the charity shop? Which do you prefer?
I do miss it a bit. I'm looking forward actually to getting back into it again, because I do miss the sort of creative side of it, and I'm planning on making cushion covers as well, actually, not just the console covers. So yeah, in the next couple of months, I'm going to try and concentrate more on the sewing and less on the reselling. Try and get everything listed that I've got. Maybe buy the odd bit and bob here and there, but I'm going to try and concentrate on my sewing business, because I have really let that slide, and I don't want to lose. I mean, I get consistent customers that message me for different covers and custom covers all the time, so I need to keep their business so they don't go to someone else.
Yeah, definitely. And thinking of new ways to market that as well would be really helpful in building it.
Well, when, I don't know, I'll see how it goes. I mean, when I was doing it at its height, I really didn't need to do any marketing. I was selling I'm looking back at old posts of stuff that I'd posted about how much I'd sold. And I think I sold over the Christmas New Year, like 2 years ago, I think it was something like 60 covers just in that week.
Wow.
So, hopefully I could get back to near that again. It depends. It's how much I put in, basically. I sell as much as I've got.
Yeah.
So.
I tell you what, though, you mentioned cushions there, and I remember when you shared with me some of the fabrics you had, like Nintendo fabrics and stuff.
Yeah.
I know it's expensive fabric, but people with a game room or Nintendo freaks who have like a man cave or whatever, a Nintendo cushion, you could ask good money on that.
Yeah, well, I'm actually going to do like patchwork, because I've got loads of scraps left over from when I made the covers. So I'm going to make patchwork cushion covers. So it's going to be like, I'll probably do like a Star Wars theme one with all different fabrics, but they're all Star Wars. And then I might do like a gaming theme one, and that's all gaming fabrics. And I've got Walking Dead and skulls and things like that, so I can do a patchwork one of that. So that's the plan anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it. Idea. Right, let's pop in the chat again.
Sadly, I can't get any more of that Walking Dead fabric because they only make so much, and then they get rid of the print. They make one run of it, or sometimes 2 runs, and then that's it. They never make it again. So once it's gone, which is quite sad, really, with fabric. But that's how it works with fabric.
Yeah. So if a fabric is really in demand, then this is how my mind works. But could you buy as much as you can afford, hold on to it, and then sell it on at profit?
Possibly. I mean, you know, in the past, I've spent a lot of money on fabric. I just haven't got the cash at the minute. It's really easy to spend like £300 to £500 on fabric. Really easy.
Because you could effectively corner a market. If you know they're going to stop making it at X date, you could say, well, I'll buy as much as I can afford, and then I'll be the only supplier after that date.
Yeah.
That's how my mind works. Sorry.
No, I was just they talk about the community, and Peter Ray says, when I was feeling down at the end of November, beginning of December, I found the reselling community really did pick me up, as you saw in the live. So great that we can all help each other in life, whether making friends, etc. And then Caroline says, the community is so encouraging, a big bunch of friends. And Mandy says, it's just like one big family. It's lovely. It helped me with my anxiety no end.
Wow, thanks for sharing that, guys.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it is nice to know, and we certainly benefit from the fact that we feel we have people we can talk to about what we do.
Yeah,
we can share the ups and the you know, the downs. I mean, the whole thing with Monty, just having people to talk to, apart from family who, you know, we didn't want to chew their ear off about it all the time. So having the community that understood what we were going through was a huge help to me, certainly.
And we've made real friendships from this community as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, we're approaching the hour, so go on.
I'm not welling up, don't worry.
So I was just going to quickly ask you, Steve, how long is it now till kind of D-Day for you?
20 working days, 28 days in total.
Wow.
I don't know the hours and minutes at the minute. I do when I'm at work.
You should get one of those little LED clocks that counts down behind your head.
You get them on
We've got a board at work that we have started just taking the days away, marking it down like you're in prison.
Yeah. Like you can get a countdown clock on your phone as an app. You should set one of them, and then whenever you go live, you can whip it out and say, "Look."
Yeah.
I might do that actually. Yeah, I might get it.
Yeah.
I think I've got it on my phone.
I'm excited for you, Steve. Can't wait to see how it all pans out.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it.
Good.
Charles kind of surprised me. I thought I was only doing it a month, doing full time, but she said just do it full time now. Don't worry about it. So I don't think I'll be unless I completely mess it up. I don't think I'll be going back to a job unless I really need to.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Well, exactly. I mean, it's all down to you now. Just make it work. Oh,
yeah.
Not trying to pile the pressure on or anything.
There's no reason why not. So, yeah.
Okay.
Andy Robinson says, question: Mel and Andrea have given me an appreciation of vintage clothing that I showed no interest in a year ago, apart from Steve's yoga video. Has anyone's channel inspired you to try something new?
What's that? Apart from Steve's yoga video. Has anyone's channel inspired you to try something new?
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. What do you reckon, guys?
Yeah, definitely. I would have never got into clothing unless I watched a few of the clothing resellers. It never even crossed my mind about getting into clothing, but now I think the majority of the stuff that I pick up now is probably clothing. So.
All right.
That's cool. Do you enjoy listing clothing?
Not really.
No. Okay.
I don't like measuring stuff.
Yeah. So who do you think that you were watching that helped to inspire you back then?
I'm not sure really. I think it was like getting involved in all the ladies' live chats and stuff like that. Like Karen does one on a Monday. There's Heather that does one, and seeing all these clothing brands and what they were saying what they could pick up for it. And I was like, oh, maybe I should get into this clothing game. See if I can get it. But I hate measuring the stuff, and I need to get a mannequin. But I'm getting there.
30 quid. Get yourself a mannequin for 30 quid.
Yeah, I just don't know where to store it, and then the kids all play with it.
Yeah, you don't need a mannequin though. I barely use mine.
No.
Yeah, I generally just hang things up on a hanger.
I've certainly been inspired no end with items to pick up. You know, certain random bolos, as we always used to refer to them as.
Yeah.
And I've made so much money through watching other videos and storing it away in my brain box and using it. And I know I've helped to inspire others, which is fantastic. I'm happy to do that. But yeah, definitely, I'm inspired on a daily basis by YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah, there's always things I come across in charity shops and car beds that I would have never even thought about picking up unless I saw it on a video.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, there's a couple of little questions. Oh, Krillin.
Super chat from Krillin.
Hey Rob, how you doing? Thanks for the super chat. Krillin says, doesn't that attic need insulation? I'm freezing.
It is freezing. It is freezing cold up here. It's very cold.
Have you seen the pictures of Tom's attic now he's finished it, Steve?
I saw as he was doing it. I haven't seen it finished.
Oh, it looks epic. And Lonnie's shed and how he's insulating that and everything. Oh my God, I love DIY. I should have been a builder.
You do love DIY.
Yeah.
Very handy.
Yeah, thanks for super chat, Krillin. There was a couple of other questions. Somebody asked, do we sell on Amazon? Yes, we do. I can answer that quickly.
Dylan says, can you sell when you're younger? Well, we don't really know how young you are, Dylan, but I don't see.
You may have to use a parent's eBay account. I think you have to be a certain age to have an eBay account, do you? Or a PayPal account? You'd have to get on with
18, I would have thought. But on places like, on sort of apps, like Depop and that kind of thing, you could probably sell on there. You don't. It's not all clothes. So do homeware and all kinds of stuff on Depop.
Yeah, maybe if you can't get on eBay or Amazon, you could use Facebook or the apps.
Yeah.
Try that. Right. Let's read a couple more comments and we'll wrap this one up shortly. Bianca says, it's so great that Andrea has overcome her anxiety and you can do the live streams together now. Today, it's like she's doing it for ages.
Oh, thank you. Tune in tomorrow at 1:00 when I'm actually hosting the chat.
Yeah.
And inside, I'm like, oh my God.
Well, we've done a lot of these because we do the Sunday one anyway, every week. I don't know how many of those we've done. You're quite relaxed in this scenario.
Yeah, this scenario.
As soon as I get up and leave,
I start to panic.
Panic sets in. So, yeah. But you are much more comfortable generally, aren't you?
Yeah, it's slow steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not the easiest thing, this whole YouTube lark.
Yeah.
And
yesterday I shared on Instagram that I was trying to do a little bit to the vlog, and I must have said it about 20 odd times because I just got so tongue tied every single time, and I was just in hysterics by the end of it.
You should have kept. Don't delete those. Keep them in.
I think I deleted them. I did post bits. One bit where I was laughing on Instagram.
I think I'd done eight practice videos before I actually released a YouTube video because I just kept finding fault in them and just saying I'm not releasing that. And then I'd done one that I was quite happy with, and then halfway through, Darren comes bursting in swearing about something. So that's never getting put public. I could beep him, I suppose, because it is quite funny. But yeah.
That's Darren. Oh, that's so Darren, that is. Yep.
He's a typical Geordie where they use swear words as punctuation.
Kelly says you're great live, Andrea. There you go.
Oh,
so Seller Ladies is on this channel tomorrow. You're hosting.
Yes, 1:00 tomorrow.
Do you have a topic for that?
We do. It's about how to motivate ourselves during the winter months and when we have slow sales.
Oh, right. And that's 1:00.
1:00.
1:00 tomorrow. So join us for that. Well, I won't be there. I'm not.
I expect you will.
No, you won't be there, Nick.
You'll be there with your hands.
I'll make
Sure,
an
you'll be
appearance.
happy.
Yeah, just for you, Karen. I'll
No.
So yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks for all your comments and questions. Really appreciate that. I hope that was useful and entertaining in some way. Thank you, Steve, for popping on.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure. And Karen, thanks for joining us.
You're very welcome. I'm just so pleased I didn't cough.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
exactly. We didn't have to mute yourself.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll wrap this one up here. We'll be back next Thursday. Remember, this is a permanent slot now. We've moved it from Tuesday to Thursday. So yeah, we'll see you then. We're going to try and make it for the Sunday show at 8 o'clock that we do normally. But we will be driving back from Worthing, so we're not sure on how the timing is going to work out. But there will be a show at some point, hopefully at 8.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but we may be combining it with going live on Steve and Steph's show to do a game.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
Another sale. Hello.
Oh, is that Peter Rabbit Blu-ray?
Oh,
See,
nice.
I'm getting jealous now.
Don't compare
I'm
yourself.
comparing.
Yeah. Mustn't do that.
I feel like a failure.
Oh, it was all so positive and happy a minute ago. Right, on that note, yeah, we'll see you on Sunday, hopefully. And yeah, there may be a bit of a thing where we'll start on this channel and then all migrate over to Steve and Steph's for a game. So we're not sure how that's going to work out yet, but we'll let you know on the day.
Might have to bring snacks.
Bring snacks.
We'll be driving all the way home from Worthing, and then we'll be on for like 2 hours or so.
I love how your mind works. Must bring snacks.
Bring a picnic.
Yeah. Okay, well, see us on Sunday. Andrew will bring the snacks. There we go. Right, cheers, guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.